Hi, I'm Jim. I'm a general manager day to day and a DJ on weekends, and this is my rig. Right, so this is a 2017 Ford Everest Trend. We purchased it from brand new and we had two primary objectives. First thing was that we had to ship our kids around and we had to have an amazing car to drive around on the tarmac where, let's be honest, it's going to spend 95% of its time, and the remaining time was to make it a tourer, and it had to ship our family around our beautiful state. The main thing was to be able to get far away places safely and comfortably and be able to get us back in one piece as well. So things like fuel range, we needed to focus on storage capability and then obviously self-recovery as well. The total amount of traveling we've done on the vehicle is only about 65,000 Ks. So we haven't had the chance to explore a lot around WA, but we have been able to go places as far as Steep Point and Shark Bay, Monkey Mire up there, and in more of the deep south as well. It's also done the Goldfields region, it's done the Holland Track, and it did that with about 3,000 Ks on the clock. So that was a baptism of fire for a new vehicle. Probably one of the funniest is when, like I said, the car was really new and it went straight onto the Holland Track, and hadn't had a lot of winching experience at that time. So we've come to this water crossing on the Holland Track, and the guy that I was traveling with, he was a bit afraid of this particular crossing, so he decided to take the chicken track. Turns out the chicken track was made of spaghetti bolognese, and he was absolutely down to his diffs. So busted out the trusty winch and started to pull him back, now not thinking about the whole recovery plan, and as it was dragging him back through this huge pile of mud, I basically winched him back into a tree. So that made then me have to take the main water crossing to get us out of there, and literally drove through it and the water didn't even get above the hubs. So he went through all that mess, and we caused ourselves all this grief and lost about 2.5 hours when he could have just driven straight through it. Oh, accessories and mods on the build. This must be your longest segment, God. Okay, so I guess starting from the front, we've got the TJM Outback Bar. Very specific decision for that was completely steel, no sort of rubber bits, and the rated recovery points, really critical feature. Ironman 12,000 pound winch. Self-recovery was obviously a really critical element as well, being able to get back home. Moving continuously on the bar, sorry, we've got our Ultravision NitroMAXX 180 spotlights. These things, and this is the second set of spotlights on the car. They weren't the first that were part of the build, and yeah, amazing. The ZCG Town and Country UHF aerial, working our way back, Bushskins underbody protection, the 4mm steel variant, and that does the front sump and transfer case. Brown Davis long range tank that gives 120 litres of usable fuel. Roof system, lithium battery system, fridge, and a storage system in the back. one thing that's really handy on my Everest is my roof-mounted compressor. I needed a way to efficiently reinflate all my tyres and not have to open my bonnet and do a whole pile of stuff. So it's mounted just up here. So simply pull the cover off, clip on my hose, and straight onto here. Flick a switch in the back, and away we go. So for the rear fit out of the Everest, I've made a conscious decision to not go with drawers. And the reason why is space is an absolute premium. Weight is an absolute issue with the low payload on the Everest. And the other side of it is that everything has to be removable. Monday to Friday, this can go from shipping kids around and using the rear row seats and shipping DJ gear around for me on the weekends. And then when I go touring, it takes me about an hour and I can have my lithium battery, custom fridge slide, shelving system, and in these tubs is all my dry food or a day kit for cooking and eating. And this larger setup here is the family camping kitchen and utensils and cooking gear table. And there's additional storage here for some water if it's not going to be on the roof. But the whole point is that it's lightweight, it uses up every single bit of space really effectively, and it can all go in and out without a problem. Probably the extent that the Everest has let me down with its four-wheel driving is their absolutely rubbish handbrakes when it comes to water crossings. Whatever the drum assembly is, that must catch a lot of grit, wears out the shoes, and you can do literally one water crossing or a bit of mud work and your handbrake's done by the end of the day. So pretty much if I ever go to do a Mundaring Powerlines track run, I budget for a new handbrake the next day. That's part of the cost of the day out with fuel. If I had to give up one of my children, no, I can't say that. Oh, look, the best way to explain how attached I am to this vehicle is every time I sit in it and I drive and I look outside that window over that bonnet, I feel happy. If I had to part with my car on the basis that I exchanged it with something, it would probably be an exact same version of the car that I had the ability to do all the modifications again, starting from scratch with my proper plan. That would be the only condition I would accept that. So probably in closing, the biggest thing about this build for me is its versatility. Monday to Friday, it's a mall crawler. It's the wife's daily. She takes the kids to and from school. On weekends, when I do my DJing, the back's full of gear and I'm going to gigs backwards and forwards. But when it needs to become a tourer, it only takes about 2 hours to convert everything in the back and load the roof, and I'm away. And that's the best thing about this car, is it lives a series of different lives flawlessly. I just want to throw a few shout outs today. Big shout out to Chris for having me here, and a massive shout out to Australian Four-Wheel Driver magazine. And the final one goes to my wife for letting me take her car out for the day. So this is my wife's four-wheel drive, but it's my story.
Oh crap. Yep, same. Jeez.
Okay, so here we go. All right. So
Close the window.
You're not in the frame.
Oh.
Slave, get in there.
Close the window, get a PhD.
It's made it a lot of fun. And here's a, oh God, sorry, cut that. I'll start again.
Okay.
All right, I have to keep my jacket on because we shot the first ones with it.
Just keep it on.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
I just want to show, fuck.
There you go.
This is my four-wheel drive and my story. Oh, the magazine.
Yeah.
We're not paying you anymore. Forget about it, mate. We're not gonna pay you. Now you gotta pay us back.
Close the window.